Welcome to watch this video. Finland has reputation of being the happiest country in the world. But is it true? Because in reality fathers are losing their children at court with probability of 85%. Maybe even higher probability, and the judges are really discriminative. In this video you will hear the kind of soft fascism of Finland and authorities. In August 28th, in Helsinki, a group of parents, both fathers and mothers, went to protest against discriminative practices of Finnish court system. Despite of the fact that the victim is usually father and his child, it is sometimes also mother. But in those cases, authorities, social work are doing usually foster care, or sometimes the father might be elite member who can dictate whatever happens to the poor mother, and the parental alienation is the same. Social work and court will decide before what will happen in this nasty play. So we arranged a demonstration, a protest against Finnish authorities and government discrimination policy, weaponization of many tools and methods against human rights and children's rights conventions. We held a lot of speeches about parental alienation, corruption mechanisms in Finland, and how businesses are exploiting the sad stories and the misery of children. Attorneys, doctors, social workers, friend businesses are all benefiters in this taxpayer money utilizing system. No one from the parliament was present. Police was watching us, but free speech was allowed for this small protester group. It was also notable that Finnish media was away. They don't write about this huge crisis that is silent, and how our children are suffering, as well as parents can commit suicides, or they can get also trauma and get out from the kind of normal life. Many fathers and mothers say that Finnish model is social work and court torture. It is a model that breaks the family maybe for the rest of the life, and it is a crime according to Finnish laws. No niin, tässä ollaan Länsi-Uudenmaan oikeustalon edessä. Suomalainen voisi luulla, että oikeus toimii lakien mukaan, mutta näin ei ole, ja tehdään erikoisraporttia.
Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen. So, in this episode we'll do a summary of what the situation is like in Finland when it comes to child custody cases and fathers' rights and children's rights. So, what is happening at the Western Uusimaa Court, District Court? Crimes. Gross crimes against humanity and violations of human rights. The judges there are violating the European Convention of Human Rights, Courts Act and the Finnish Constitution. And sometimes these judges think that their wide discretion is above law. No, it's not. Law, the written law, supersedes hierarchically the judge's wide discretion. Another problem is that Finland intervenes in the protection of family and private life when no intervention is needed. And when they intervene, they do it much more than is necessary or needed. So then there is no proportionality when the Finnish authorities, meaning the court, social workers, when they intervene in your right to your children. So there's a corruption which we will prove during this video, and it's about the courts, social workers, police, and legal supervisors.
It's very typical, as you say, the officials intervene into kind of private family matters. They really set who will become a winner and who is the loser. And we have very clear evidence of many hundreds of cases that there is clear discrimination of fatherhood. But of course, sometimes the victim can be a mother as well. So we can talk about remote parent and the problems of corruption at court.
Yeah. And I would like to state at this point that we've also taken our personal cases through the Finnish legal system. That's the District Court, Court of Appeal, and Supreme Court. And also, I think in my personal case, the European Court of Human Rights. Now, they basically block/do not handle the cases coming from Finland, as you will see in the statistics now in the screen. Mind you, these judges at the European Court of Human Rights, they, in their own rules, they have that they should have a high moral. So what is the high moral if you're not even looking at the cases that father sends there? But let's return to this stats regarding the Western Uusimaa District Court in Finland. Can you tell us about these stats, the objective data / research that you know about, these that we put in the screen now?
Yeah, we had a study of 200 court cases, and it looks that almost half of those had very kind of clear parental alienation. And what's more concerning is the kind of winning rate of fathers. It was something like 15% only. And then also it looks that the sample that we got from the court, it was manipulated during the process. So the actual percentage might be even lower than the 15% win rate for the fathers. Then there were some very rare cases with kind of quite mutual, it's difficult to say winner or loser. So that was the 50-50, or one child to father and one child to mother as a kind of near parent.
All right, and this is really important. If you look at these stats, remember that the entire point of courts is that you get your case handled by an impartial, unbiased party. So when you look at these stats, what's your gut feeling? Is this an impartial court? What's your gut feeling? Well, I can tell you, and even a layman can see, that this is discrimination against fathers. But not only that, it's neglecting and discriminating against the children's rights. And these stats that we have in the screen now, I got these after my personal case. And suddenly here I see the judge that handled my case, Ann-Sofi Högström. She's here. When she's the judge, 85% of mothers win. So that's a clear warning sign of discrimination, which is illegal. Now, I told you that this is also against the children's rights. So imagine there's small babies in the courts. What voice do they have? None. And these social workers in courts are making decisions based on wide discretion. You know, I feel like something. It doesn't matter. Let's say you don't like Donald Trump, for example. It doesn't mean he shouldn't see his children. So the children have rights. And as stated many times, when the father is present, the children's outlook for the future is better. So less alcohol problems, less drug problems, less problems in school, less mental health issues. All of these decrease when the father is in the picture. And also, when the father's time with the child is deprived, taken away, and let's say the father sees the child every second weekend, then it's a matter of alienation. So, and it doesn't have to be brainwashing. For example, the mother says that your father was a horrible man and he was toxic and narcissistic or whatever. It doesn't even have to have that. It's just enough that the time is taken away, so the child gets used to a situation where he or she sees the father less. So alienation is in question, even though there is no manipulation or brainwashing. Do you have something to say at this point?
Yeah, I would like to add that there is this partial alienation and then total alienation. And then we have estimated that the total parental alienation is almost 100,000 kids in Finland. So it is a kind of astonishing figure if you think about how small country this is. 5.5 million people. So it's every third of the kind of divorced kids. They don't meet father or sometimes mother at least once a month. So it's really kind of heartbreaking situation. It's not according to any Finnish law or any human rights convention or agreement.
Exactly. And so far we've gone through our own experiences, and they're anecdotal, yes. But what does the majority of cases and statistics consist of? They consist of single cases. And mind you, we're only two fathers here, but do you think we're the only fathers in Finland who have taken our cases through the judicial system and to every authority imaginable? No, there are many, many fathers. This means that also the legal supervisors, for example, Mikko Puumalainen, Chancellor of Justice, or Petri Jääskeläinen, Ombudsman of Finland, these guys, they are so aware of this problem. They're covering their eyes, looking through their fingers. They're accepting this directly or indirectly. And this is, as we have stated, illegal, what is happening now. And just a side note, my case and the statistics that we have shown now, it's also pending currently at the European Commission, where I've sent this case, including video evidence. And
I would like to raise one really serious concern. When we were analyzing the materials of those 200 cases, it definitely started to look that the authorities, I mean social work, school and judge, they make a strategy. It might be a kind of secret meeting according to Marak method, which is taken from Ireland to Finland. So the other parent does not know that something is happening, and there might be even police participating into that. And then whether it's a Marak or a little more open way, but it's the key to understand is that the remote parent or when they decide who will lose, that parent is not present. And then the authorities will make a plan how to support the alienating parent, usually the mother. And then it can lead even worse, because if you are fighting and kind of defending your right as a father or mother sometimes, then the officials, they start to see red, and then they start hostile actions towards you. It means they can write anything, really false allegations, whatever violence, mental illness, or whatever they like. And then you can't get rid of that burden at court. So very typical situation is that authorities make a strategy against one parent, and then they together they start to kind of push down that person. And it means that there is unofficial part before the court. And I would even ask that, is it just a kind of theater play? And everything is decided beforehand. And then you think that it would be kind of fair and an equal court in Finland, but it is not, because we have so many witnesses, so many cases about this harsh discrimination, secret meetings, and so on. And as said, they really can fight against you. They can kind of attack in many ways. And then you are paying your part, and then you get only crimes. So that's really sick system. Not always like this, but very often.
So some of you might think that, what on earth are we doing this video about? What's the point of this video? Why aren't we taking this the correct route? You know, but that's the thing. We're here to say it doesn't work. For example, the statistics, and I took it to Ilkka Lahtinen, who is the head judge of the Western Uusimaa District Court. And I gave him a reasonable time, 2 months. And I showed him, look at this, when the judge just arbitrarily, randomly says that, yeah, the children are every second weekend with the father. Look at this.
The children have flera söndagsmodeller.
Nyt tuossa mä taas halusin lisää aikaa ilmeisesti, ja nyt sitten tuomari sanoi, että nyt ajetaan nyt tätä perjantai-sunnuntai-järjestelmää.
Okay. And the police made a decision. No crime. And after carefully reviewing the material. And I called him. Did he look at the evidence? No.
Kysymys, katsottiinko se todistevideo? Ja
En ole katsonut sitä todistevideota. Mä yritin sitä avata, mutta en saanut sitä auki.
And all this, I have like black on white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have concrete evidence. The judge is saying like this, and there's no mention of any violence, alcohol, drug abuse, mental health issues, crime register, whatever. Nothing. And the judge says like this, that the alienation starts, and Ilkka Lahtinen does nothing. He's aware of this problem that has been ongoing for years and years and years. He does nothing. And these judges and the head judge who is allowing this, they all have blood on their hands. And I'm not exaggerating. As mentioned previously in some of our videos, we know fathers who have deleted themselves. And then there's not excluded that some fathers project their anger towards other people than themselves, to put it diplomatically here. So this is a really serious matter.
And it is traumatizing the children, the weakest party in this nasty process. And then I would also call these kind of dirty judges, dirty process. And what's really worrying is that the police can attack against you. They can make you to look like a criminal when you are defending your right as a father. You can get a kind of, that crime sentence. I know many people who have taken to the court, and it's just like magic how they make the faulty evidence, and they can erase all things you have told to them. So it's the judge will choose whatever he or she likes, and nobody knows it. Our nation is believing into the state and court like a god, but it's really terrible to the children.
Yes. And what we talked about now and showed you here now, it's up to you, to the viewer, decide if these judges, social workers, for example, Anna Colliander, Mia Kokko-Pekkola, Krista Malmberg, as in my case, or these judges, Ilkka Lahtinen, Sophie Högström, the police,
Christian Hirn, Marjo Naapi, so on.
Alakärppä, Länsi-Uusimaa police, Western Uusimaa police, Alakärppä, Hyytiäinen, they're allowing this. They say Lahtinen, head judge Ilkka Lahtinen doesn't have to do anything, and no, they see no problem. And this is the thing. The core reason is the illegal time taken away with your children. That's the core reason. Nobody does a flying fudge about that. But then, when you're a father activist, then precisely as you said, then you get targeted. They can say that you've done something illegal, and then, oh my goodness, they're looking at the laws and the paragraphs, and oh, he's a horrible father. You can't say that the social workers and judges are acting illegally.
Yeah, I showed one really kind of illegal paper made by social workers. I just showed a little and told what's there, but there was that kind of confidential kind of stamp. So now I'm the criminal, the police is thinking, and they have also been putting away all real evidence what comes to the health, violence, the trauma of the children. Really many kind of persons who have seen this and witnessed these crimes to happen. Everything that can be taken away. Police does not look at that, and neither the judges. So this is really sick process and just lying people.
Yeah, it's corrupt. The system is corrupt, and these, just let's not beat around the bush. These judges and Ilkka Lahtinen, they're gross violators of human rights, and the police is accepting it. The legal supervisors are accepting it. The European Court of Human Rights doesn't look at the case. So what to do?
We need your help. International media, institutions of human rights and children rights, please come and contact us in Finland. This is sad, it is real, and you have kind of so heavy kind of professional kind of expertise in legal stuff. I'm also just a kind of ordinary business guy. We have never done any harm, anything to deserve this.
And one point, if we would be extremely horrible fathers and we deserve to be, you know, time deprived from spending time with our children, do you think we would sit here, make these videos, write thousands and thousands of legal documents here and there, also outside of Finland? No. The point of this video was to summarize what's happening in Finland. It's all messed up when it comes to fathers' rights, children's rights. Fathers are discriminated. There's no room for interpretation. This is how it is. And every authority knows about this. They're basing decisions on I feel basis, and you cannot take away someone's child or time based on I feel like something.
I would say that the Finnish system is weaponizing many methods against good, loving parents and children, and they are breaking the human rights of the children and family life intentionally. Thank you.
Thank you.
Minun taustani on puhtaasti tästä vieraannuttamisesta, mikä koskettaa toista vanhempaa eron jälkeen. Ja sitten kun verotaan, niin joten kummallisesti, niin kuin Timokin sanoi, niin lastensuojelu ja mikään perheoikeudelliset yksiköt, minkään kunnan tukipalvelut eivät meitä niin kuin oikeasti tue. Ja mikä pahinta, niin meidän lapsia eivät tue. Muuta kuin sen helpoimman riimanalituksen kautta. Eli sitähän on tehty Suomessa tutkimuksiakin. Nyt itselläni näistä tutkimusten lukemisista on vähän aikaa, mutta oliko se... Nyt en sano mitään, niin ehkä sano väärin, mutta löytyy Suomestakin tutkimusta siitä, että lastensuojelu työntää näissä vieraannuttamistapauksissa, missä on mainittu ja tullut esiin sanallisesti vieraannuttaminen, ne työnnetään suoraan oikeusasteisiin. Se vaan kasvaa vähän niin kuin kaikki väkivalta. Eli me tiedetään väkivalta tosi paljon. Yhteiskunnassa sitä on tutkittu maailmanlaajuisesti tosi paljon.
My case is very weird. I have a kind of relatives who were prosecutors, judges and high officers in police kind of organization. I have been working at Nokia strategy for this country to pay my taxes, but they gave my ex-wife to kidnap the children just for money and for her sickness, and because she is part of this child corruption in Espoo. So I am living example how fathers are losing their children. I have the shared parenting but it doesn't mean anything. Police is not helping, my children are in trauma. Only one of them, 1 of 3 from my children is meeting me, and I'm very happy for that, but 2 are in deep troubles. And this is the system that is discriminating in undeniable way.
Mulla on ihan sama ongelma kuin Jusella, mutta toiselta päällä äitinä, ulkomaalaisäitinä. Ja suuri kiitoksia tätä tulette ja osallistu tähän mielenosoitukseen. Ongelma on niin suuri ja ongelma ei mikä uusi. Lastensuojelun ja kaikki viranomaisten teko lasten vastaan menee yli rajaa. Mä yritän puhua vähän mun omasta tarinasta, että osoittaa mikä vika mä itse nähnyt ja mikä vika on näin lapsi, joka kärsii vieraanotoista, huostaanotoista ja niin edelleen. Minun nimeni on Dana Haikio. Olen Astadin 7-vuotiaan tytön äiti. Vuonna 2023 erosimme riidan jälkeen. Lapsen ison vaatimuksesta joudin muutaman pois yhteistä kodistamme ja asumaan erillään Helsingissä. Siitä lähtien isä on alkanut estää minun yhteyteeni lapsen ja kieltä tapaamiset hänen kanssaan. Jouduin hakemaan käräjäoikeudesta päätöstä lapsen asumisesta ja huollosta. Esitin 50-50 mallia, koska ymmärsin, että lapsille on tosi tärkeää saada olla sekä äidin että isän kanssa. Isä puolestaan vaati, että hänet määrätään yksinhuoltajaksi ja että minulta kielletään kokonaan yhteys lapseen. Hänen perustelansa oli, että mukaan aikoisin viedä lapsen ulkomaalle, mutta mitään näyttöä hän ei esittänyt. Oikeus määräsi isän päänsälliseksi huoltajaksi, mutta samalla velvoitti hänet turvaamaan lapsen tapaamisen äidin kanssa. Päätöksen mukaan lapsen oltava luonani joka toinen viikonloppu sekä koulun alettua perjantaista maanantai-aamun asti. Kesäkuusta lähtien isä ei ole kuitenkin noudattamaan päätöstä. Hän ei tuo lasta tapaamispaikan eikä koulun luovuttaakseen häntä minulle. Tapaamispaikan työntekijät ovat kehottaneet häntä noudattamaan päätöstä. Yhtälön puhelinyhteyttä lapsen koko tämän vuoden aikana, mutta hän ei tietysti jätänyt sen huomioita. Lisäksi hän ei ole saanut puhelinyhteyttä lapsen koko tämän vuoden aikana, vaikka oikeuden päätöksen mukaan minulla on siihen oikeus. Toisensa lapsen isä rikko avoimesti tuomioistuimen päätöstä ja lakia. Ja se tapahtui jatkuvasti vuodesta 2024 aikana. Harvoin tapaamisten aikana tyttäreni on sanonut kaipavansa minua ja kysynyt, miksi näemme niin harvoin. Hän on kertonut, että isän sisar soittaa hänelle jatkuvasti ja vaatii, että häntä kutsutaan äidiksi. Tämä henkilö pakottaa lapsen päivittäin videopuheluihin, mikä on henkistä väkivaltaa. Hän yrittää pyyhkiä lapsen mielestä todellisen äidin, oman kulttuurinsa ja identiteetinsä. Isä ja hänen sisarensä pyrkivät siis vieraantumaan lapsen äidistään. Tämä on lainvastaista ja loukkaa sekä äidin että lapsen oikeuksia. Lukuisat valitukseni teidän toimistaan on jätetty huomioita. Vaikka heidän käytöksestään on rikoksen piirteitä, viranomaiset eivät ryhty toimiin. Samaan aikaan lastensuojelu reagoi ankarasti jokaisen muun pienenkin virheeseen. Alusta alkaen lastensuojelu on ollut isän puolella. Raportissa on väristelty faktoja. Yhdessä todetaan, että olen sopiva äiti, mutta toisessa kuvataan minut epävakaaksi. Kaikki lailliset vaatimukseni on tulkittu mielenterveysongelmiksi. Tämä on virkavallan väärinkäyttöä. Vuonna 2024 isä piti lasta yli 2 kuukautta ilman tapaamisia kanssani. Lastensuojelu katsoi sivusta eikä kirjannut rikkomuksia raporteihin. vaikka heidän tehtävänsä on turvata lapsen oikeus molempiin vanhemmilta. Tehostetun perityn aikana faktojen jälleen peitettiin. Raportissa ei mainittu, että isä oli estänyt lasta käymästä päiväkodissa ja lääkärikäynnillä. Samalla väkivallan faktat ja turvakotin hakemukseni jätettiin täys huomioita. Ja 3 vuotta minun ja lapsen oikeuksia rikotaan. Näen selvästi, että isän ja hänen sisarensä ja viranomaisen toimissa on mukaan ennakkoluuloja ja kansallista syrjintää. Lapseni on kerrottu, että äiti on ulkomaalainen ja se on huono asia. Minulle sanotaan, alistu, vaikene ja pala kotimaahasi. Käytännössä minut yritetään pakottaa pois Suomesta, jota lapselle myöhemmin kerrotaan, äiti hylkäsi sinut. Lapsestani on tehty painotuksen väline. Todellinen tavoite on viedä minulta vanhemman oikeudet ja pyyhkää minut pois tyttären elämästä.
Did you knew that Finnish police and court and social system is making crimes? And now police is attacking directly against me. Police is not investigating the real crimes. They have made tens and hundreds of kind of killing of investigations in Finland, Western Uusimaa, Espoo city area. And these police, they are now claiming that by exposing some of the documents made by social sector, that revealing crimes would be a crime. Really, really funny. These are insane people and totally rotten by their moral. And I'm thinking, it looks that I am now target for this local police. So we ask your help, international people, friends and institutions, because Finnish system is discriminative. There is no control in police, no control of judge work, there is no measurement, there is no development, there is no correction mechanisms. Everything is bullshit. Everything is bullshit propaganda. In Finland, what you hear about authorities in justice and court, police, social sector. Our politicians are cowards. They don't do anything because I think they are also some sort of benefit owners in this kind of dirty networks. So we need to reveal Finnish deep state, and we need similar action plan like President Trump is doing in US. Step by step, Finland must be put into responsibility. It is the only way to save this country and the children and families. They are really terrible human rights crimes. I am now target for the police. If you contact me, I will explain more. I have really strong evidence that I am the victim like my children are. I have not been able to kind of meet my children in many years. Only one is now recovering from parental alienation. He spent wonderful 2 weeks in Japan, Tokyo area, but the 2 others are in trauma, and police is so rotten morons that they think it's right, and they think it's right that they can target, they can manufacture crimes, faulty sentences and so on with the prosecutor. So we will fight heavily back for this kind of dirty system. Do not believe what our justice ministry is telling. Do not believe what the police authorities are telling. Do not believe anything about Finnish politicians unless you have analyzed the situation. So Perheiden parhaaksi ry, it's for the best of the families association, is saying thank you for watching this. Please share this information. Please be in contact to us. There are so many cases, even worse than mine, where police is kind of hunting, black painting, blackmailing people. They are doing illegal home investigations. They are stealing stuff. They are kind of really pretending and many things to the court. So this is really false allegation system, really rotten, worse than Russia or North Korea. Thank you for watching. Please contact us.
This after my own personal case. And the judge in my case was Ann-Sofie Högström. She's about in the middle of that list. This I got after my case. And it's an informal research. And here you can quite quickly see that the system is corrupt. And do I need some formal or official statistics? Absolutely not. The same way you judges are taking away time with normal fathers, with their children, and taking away time with the children, with their fathers, discriminating fathers, torturing fathers psychologically so that many delete themselves from this world. And you leave reasonable doubt that you have taken away time from a completely normal father. This is even more meat on the bones, so to say, than you judges usually have. I met the children's mother about year 2000. We had our first date 2007. We got engaged 2014. We had the wedding in the late 2014. And then we divorced in 2020. I moved to a location very near the ex and the children, so I could help with, it would be easy to transport the children here and there, birthday parties, kindergarten, school, stuff like that. Let me start by saying that before it escalated and got worse and worse and worse in court, prior to that, we could, for example, eat sushi at my place with the children. We could watch a movie at my ex's place with the children. So it was working exceptionally well, considering that we just divorced and moved to different locations. At one point, the children and the mother was going to go on a trip. So I wanted to say bye and good night to the children. But my ex, the children's mother, has something against it. So I was pretty upset that the reason I accepted that they were the majority of the time at the mother's place, the children's mother's place, was the fact that it was so flexible. But then she started to deny me to see the children. Okay, so we went to court. In case I forget to mention it, the children are now 10 and 6. And this case has taken now 3 years. So half of the youngest child's life, I've been fighting to see the children. 1/3 approximately of the oldest child's life, I've been fighting to see the children. And what I have claimed in every court, in every stage, was a 50-50 situation where both parents and the children get to see each other equally. I was really surprised of, I thought it would be fair play in court without defamation, mustamaalaamista. But oh boy, was I wrong. For example, this is a signed claim by my ex's attorney, where she says that I had the children maximum 1 night per week. And I have said that I have no interest to have the children more than that. Okay, so this is a blatant lie. If I would not have an interest to see my children, I would not fight in court for 3 years and make this public video about this situation. I was extremely surprised, to say the least, when I saw what the children's mother and the children's mother from the mother's side said in court. These are direct quotes from the court case. After the children have been with the father, the children have a great need to explain about the time they had with him. The children are restless and worried several days after spending time with the father. Now, I can't say that with a straight face because it's insane This is a blatant lie, and it's insane that how can she even say something like this? Okay. Then my ex's mother said that she sees the children almost daily, and she brings the children to me every second weekend. Then she says that the oldest daughter thinks I'm strict, and the children have complained, among other things, that they don't go out in an entire weekend. The children have also told that the father talks not good things about women, and that my way of speaking to the ex is aggressive. For 12 years with the mother of the children. Also knew the mother's mother, so the grandparents from the mother's side. Knew them for over 10 years. Had many lunches with them, spent Christmases with them, birthdays with them. So it was a complete surprise that they can say something like this. And this is what I meant in the part number 1, that they just listen like headless chickens to what their attorney says. It's logical if you want maximum economical gain and try to take away the children from the father, yes. But then the attorney/lawyer should give a clear understanding to the client that if you say these things and illegally try to take away the children, that all relationships surrounding the children, in which the children are the worst victims, will be inflamed. You can't expect to lie in court, take away someone's child, and then expect everything to be normal after that. You can't be that naive. Taking away someone's child from a normal parent is sick, it's low, it's so cruel, there's no words for that. The judges making these decisions, these are the same judges that write in the decisions that something was cruel, raw and reprehensible. Erityisen raakaa, julmaa ja moitittavaa. The same judges who are criminals violating multiple paragraphs, national and international. Okay, so let's look at my case and the court map in my case. And this is, by the way, not all of the court cases involved. Okay, so let's go. So if you haven't been to court, to käräjäoikeus, district court, it's not like 5 men with wigs and they have a meeting and discuss there. Usually in these cases it's only 1 judge and 1 secretary. So 1 person and 1 secretary. Okay. So February 2021 we went to court. There the mother wanted me to see the children every second weekend and then 1 day in between. So I saw them every week, but only 1 day in the weeks between. This was a temporary decision, May 2021. This was the second temporary decision now. And I'm talking about boxes A and B. Okay. These temporary decisions, you can only complain about a permanent decision, not a temporary decision. Okay. So in box B, it was decided. And when I say decided, because the mother claimed so. And in general, these things work so that the mother dictates things and the court and social workers just approve everything that the mother wants. Okay. So in box B, it was decided that I shall see my children every second weekend because the mother wanted so. So I drove home basically in a shock state. I was like, how on earth can the mother of the children claim this? And how on earth can a judge approve this? That a completely normal father, his and his children's time together gets taken away due to economical reasons and due to the continuous criminal actions of judges. So I drove home. I couldn't sleep because this decision was insane. Because I was a completely normal father. Okay. So I couldn't sleep. So in the late night, I wrote an application to the court. I sent it to the judge herself, to her supervisor, Christian Hirn, and the court's general email address. I sent it the same evening that we got the temporary decision in box B. So now we are in box E. So nothing happens. And later I found out that the judge went on her summer vacation. So you stay passive. By the way, according to the law, when I send an application, it becomes pending, vireillä. So they can't just remain passive. Anyways, they remain passive. So I send another application on October 21. Nothing happens. So this means that my access to justice is denied. Now, I told you that temporary decisions, you can't complain about them. That's why I sent a new application in box E. But since the district court did not take the case, and they did not ask me for any additional information, which should be the case should the application be insufficient in some way. So the only choice I had was to send the case to the Court of Appeal, hovioikeus. So I sent it there in January. I got the decision in January 2022. And they said, nah, my right, you can't complain about a temporary decision. And anyway, my right is secured in the sense that I can ask for a new decision from the court. Which proved that they did not understand the case at all. Because I had sent a new application in box E. But they just remained passive and did nothing. So I had no other choice than to take it to the Court of Appeal. But they said, nah, his rights are protected because he can apply for a new decision. Which is the exact thing I did before I took it to the Court of Appeal. Okay. And then in box G, the Supreme Court says that, nah, it's fine. And what I mean it's fine, they say that they basically approve. Just give a green light to what the Court of Appeal said. Okay. Now, then social workers are involved in this case. And box C, this is the permanent decision of the district court. And the decision was that I get to see my children every second weekend from Friday 2 o'clock to Sunday 2 o'clock. The judge in box ABC is the same, Ann-Sofie Högström, which according to the statistic is a criminal, and she's a criminal. Not only did she deprive me and my children time together illegally without any necessary reasons, she also stated in her decision that my income was higher before, and I proved it to her. When the decision was made, my income was a bit lower. Okay. Nonetheless, she writes in the decision that the ability to pay child support will be calculated on the previous higher income. So she calculates the child support on a previous higher income, which is not de facto the income during the point of ruling. She takes away my children, deprives time illegally. She also says that, taking into consideration the children's age, that they were 3 and 7. They had no need, for example, to be with the mother. There was no reason to deviate from a 50-50 situation. So that decision was completely illegal. Furthermore, I said that the child support shall be that I do not approve anything over the minimum amounts. But she put them higher than that. And she wrote also in the decision that the mother gets lapsilisä, so child extra from the state. The mother gets yksinelättäjälisä, sole provider extra. And she gets child support from me, based on an income level I did not have at the moment. And based on calculations higher than I approved. They all just believe everything the mother says. And if you don't communicate as a woman, you communicate from their point of view wrongly. You're the evil masculine. Now, regarding the social worker's job was to evaluate the circumstances where the children are going to be when they're with the father, when they're going to be with the mother. Needless to say, these are the social workers, this is the supervisor, and it went like this. During a Teams meeting with the social workers, they themselves admitted to me that in 87% of cases, the mother wins. Okay, so this entire show involving the court, the social workers, the police, I will get into details later, and the Chancellor of Justice, it's a theater play with a predetermined outcome, which is to discriminate the father and make an illegal decision against the child's best interest. Okay. So the social workers, for example, they said that one of my tables is dangerous for the children. I said, the mother has a table that doesn't even move and with sharp corners if the children hits their head. And they also claim that I had threatened the mother, which I had never done. Had I been mad to the mother? Of course. As I said, if I take away your children without any necessary heavy reason, I would be more surprised if you would be, well. Like, it's totally understandable that a person is not so happy if you take away their children. And especially when it's the best for the children that everything surrounding the children is fine. That the grandparents on both sides, the parents can communicate and keep a good relations, but no. At this point, I'm gonna here simultaneously put a compilation of the evidence that was never looked at in the district court, and probably neither in the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court. But I'll put it here so you can see. I'll blur this because of privacy reasons. And while I can talk a little bit simultaneously about the social workers. So if I say something to social workers, they're saying that I'm trying to manipulate the outcome. And if the mother says something, they're like, yeah. So it's so biased. It's a complete farce, a complete theater show. From a moral, ethical, legal, whatever perspective, there is no heavy or necessary reason, in my case, to deviate from a 50-50 situation where both the mother and the father gets to see the children equally. And the social workers are corrupt. They automatically take the mother's side. That's just how it is. And it's illegal to do that. It's illegal to do that. Now, this evidence showing now on the screen, it was never looked at in boxes C. So I took this main case to box D, Court of Appeal, and box H, Supreme Court, hovioikeus, korkein oikeus. Both said that, we'll keep the previous decision. So decision C shall remain. So at least the following laws/principles were broken. Access to justice, pääsy oikeuteen, was denied. They did not take my application in box E. Also because the time with my children was taken illegally from me. The child support calculations were based on false economical information. A fair trial was denied from me. Good administration was denied. The service principle, they didn't ask for any additional information. Should my application in box E have been insufficient? Now, as you can see, this whole timeline, swift justice, nopea oikeudenkäynti denied. And this is a case about small children. and the parents' rights to see them. And in September 2023, they gave the decision that, I'll freely translate this, but this is straight from the decision. They said that, there's nothing wrong here. Everything's fine. So, if nothing else, can you see how rotten this system is? How corrupt it is? Even just by looking at the video material I showed you, there should be left a heavy suspicion that you are discriminating a completely normal father. Also, one thing I want to emphasize. When this illegal decision is made, and if you refuse to pay a single euro based on an illegal decision, a side note, there is nothing wrong with, and it's supposed to be that both parents invest economically in the child, in the children. I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem with limiting time illegally to maximize economical gain, a corrupt court system, making men and fathers into economical slaves, causing men heart and cardiovascular problems, causing men to delete themselves due to this injustice. That I have a problem with. So if you don't pay, if you don't follow the illegal decision and pay, the authorities send to every workplace you've ever been, every workplace you ever go, they send a document saying that if you pay this father anything, we want a part of it. And if you don't have a 9 to 5, for example, then they suck the money from your account. And then if you complain that, what are you doing? This is based on an illegal decision. And it's pending in higher authorities. They say, it doesn't matter if it's pending. And by the way, we can't check the legality in the decision. We just do what we're told. A quick summary. Judges in Finland are violating multiple laws, making decisions against the child's best interest, discriminating fathers. The transfer of justice, who is supposed to supervise the courts, doesn't care at all. Are there any solutions? Well, since this has been going on for years in Finland, I have a very hard time seeing that the change will come from within. I mean, courts, police, social workers, transfer of justice. It's all corrupt in Finland. That's why I urge many of you to publicly shed light on your own case if you have had similar experiences. In a dream world, the European Union / the European Court of Human Rights would say to Finland that this illegal torture stops now. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Bye.